Okay, let's continue our discussion about inbound marketing by moving to the next important piece of inbound marketing, which is buyer personas. Now, people call this by different names. You can call it buyer personas, you can call it buyer profiles, but in any sense, basically what we're talking about today is defining your ideal customer based on a number of different characteristics to create a demographic, a figurative demographic that we can use as a baseline for finding new customers for your company and reaching out to them. So first you have to understand your company and what exactly it is that you are selling. And then you must reverse engineer the process to determine what type of people buy your products. Now, if you have an existing company and you're already selling a lot of different products and services, then you can dip into your data and start to create an ideal buyer persona based off of who your current customers actually are. However, if you're a brand new company and you have a brand new product and you're trying to bring that to market in a different way, then you might have to do a little bit more research to figure out what your buyer persona, what your buyer profile might be. Now, the whole purpose of creating a buyer persona is so that once you determine exactly who your ideal buyer is, that then you can scale up your sales to that target demographic by uncovering more avenues to reach out to them, more channels of either advertising or engagement through content. But in order to scale that up, first you have to intimately understand who it is that you're targeting. So let me give you an example. Let's take a company like one of these companies who manufactures fidget spinners. Now, you would, by this point in time, no doubt be aware of a fidget spinner. It's just a small device that you spin. I'll put up a photo so you can see what that looks like. And it's just something to engage the mind. But young adults between the ages of maybe 14 and 18 years old right now find them to be pretty cool. To have one of those is a big deal. You know, it costs a few dollars and you can pick it up on the internet. So let's talk about what this buyer persona looks like. Let's create one for a moment. So let's say we're targeting young adults between the ages of 14 and 18 years old. Let's say that they are currently in high school or middle school, okay? They are surrounded by their friends. What drives them is they want to be cool and they want to be accepted, right, within their class. They like, everybody at that age, you want to be the popular kid, right? You want to do something to make yourself stand out. So let's also say that our buyer must be the kids who are a bit progressive, right? They are the leaders, not the followers, because we want, as we're introducing this new product, we want to get in contact with those young adults who influence the rest of the community, okay? So this is just the beginning of a buyer persona, but let me just explain to you a few things that we uncovered in this exercise. We've uncovered the fact that we have a particular age that we want to target. We've uncovered the fact that there needs to be some incentive, like popularity or the ability to feel accepted or to stand out, okay? We've also identified the fact that we want to interact with people who are progressive and have some influence, these young adults. And let's add one more element on top of that, which is that they should also have the financial capacity, whether on their own or through their parents, to be able to purchase this item. They should be connected to the internet where they can find out more information, buy one, and have it shipped to their house. So taking these four things, we can now start to concoct an advertising strategy or an inbound marketing strategy, some kind of a plan to latch on to that audience and pull them towards our brand so that they can get educated and make a purchase decision. So just off of the top of my head, after considering this, we can probably assume that Instagram might be a great resource to reach out to these young adults. Why? Because, well, if they're on Instagram, then that means they must have a smartphone. If they have a smartphone, then that means that they are, financially in a place where they would be possibly willing to spend a few extra dollars on this gadget, right? Also, if they're on Instagram, Instagram is all about influence and building up followers and posting content. So we can also assume that they probably, if they're between 14 and 18 years old in their school, they have an Instagram, they've been growing it for some time, they must have some influence, right? Not every single child or not every single young adult has a smartphone today. So, we can make the assumption that probably those that are, constantly on Instagram, they're constantly putting their image out there for their classmates to see, they probably have some influence. So there we have our progressive young adult who has the financial ability to buy. And then also on Instagram, we can create our own story. We can engage and pull people in through creating very interesting videos and content and shareable media that educates them and also, I'm going to say emotionally manipulates them into seeing how cool this device is and how cool it can make them look, right? So here we have, we have a number of different options here to consider when creating a buyer persona. For you, what that means for you and for your business is you should sit down, first take a look at your current customers if you're an existing business, and figure out from your current customers, is there a persona that I can create? Let's talk about age. Are they between the ages of 20 and 30? Are they between the ages of 40 and 50? Are they male? Are they female? Do they live in a city? Do they live in an urban environment or a suburb or out in the country? What drives them? Are they influenced by pop culture? Are they influenced by other people? Are they introverted and they just really, really want to do things only for themselves and they don't really care about doing things for the rest of the world to see? Determine the type of human being that you are selling to. And it starts with the buyer persona, because one of the biggest issues with every company is you have a product to sell and you go and you try to cram it down the throats of everybody in the world, and people, they just don't want that. That's when you start to become spammy. However, if you create a good buyer profile, you can use that as the base to create exceptional content, really interesting material that they love to consume. And when you can create content that a certain demographic loves to consume, then you can own that territory, you can win that influence, and then those leads inbound will come to you, come searching for your information, come searching for your product. This was Buyer Profiles, the next step in inbound marketing. Take a look at the next video, and I'm going to leave some important resources for you in the comment section. Thank you.